The rain has been falling for 3 days, as if the sky itself refuses to stop grieving. The pastor's voice is shaking, though I can't tell if it's from pity or discomfort. I stopped listening halfway through. All I hear now is the thud of soil, the scrape of shovels, the final punctuation on a life that should have never ended this soon. People told me I'd never forget this sound. The weight of earth over innocence. They were right. But what no one told me was that grief has a smell. It smells like wet dirt, wilted flowers, and betrayal. Because while I stood here, bearing my not mourning, not comforting, celebrating, over money, they said they couldn't make it to the funeral, said business couldn't wait. But hours later, I saw the photos. My sister, toasting with the same hand that once held my son's birthday candle. My mother, smiling, her eyes dry. And my father, counting. Always counting. Caleb's name was written in gold letters. Beloved son. That's all. No mention of family, no mention of love, just silence. They thought the funeral would be the end. That grief would keep me quiet. That money could bury truth deeper than the dead. They were wrong. Destiny reading a text. We need the trust documents. Now Victoria smirking over a glass of champagne. Camera pans to an envelope beside her. Destiny walking into a coffee shop, eyes cold, voice steady. You used my son's death to cash out? Quick shot, a hand slamming a folder onto a table. Paper flying, someone gasping. Destiny, final close-up, staring directly into camera. They won't take my son's legacy without a fight. Welcome back to another episode of Revenge Takes HQ, where every story cuts deep and every ending hits harder for more power. And emotional stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get in today's tale. The sound of rain on umbrellas fills the quiet cemetery. The camera lingers on Destiny's trembling hands as she holds a white rose, petals bruised from her grip. The crowd is thin. Too thin. Only the pastor, the undertaker, and a kind neighbor stand close. Everyone else, the people who should have been here, are missing. Destiny's breath quivers as the casket lowers. She's not crying anymore. The tears stopped hours ago, replaced by a stillness that feels foreign, unnatural, as if her body hasn't caught up to what her heart already knows. Her fingers brush against the rose before it slips from her hand and falls, landing softly atop the small coffin. Angela, the woman from next door, holds a folded umbrella and a plastic container wrapped in foil. She looks unsure, hesitant, then finally steps closer. You shouldn't be alone today, sweetheart. She places the container in Destiny's hands. Warm, still warm. Homemade cornbread. Destiny forces a smile, or something close to one. Thank you. He used to love this, then you eat too. He'd want that Angela's hand lingers for a second, the kind of touch that asks for nothing in return, before she walks back to her car. The kindness only makes the emptiness feel wider. The engine hums quietly. Raindrops trace crooked paths down the windshield. She stares at the dashboard, where a faded sticker still clings. Caleb's little handprint from kindergarten, smeared in blue paint. Her voice trembles, low and unsteady. He never complained. Not once. Even when the treatments made him sick, he'd still ask me if he could go to school. Said he didn't want to fall behind. Said he was going to be an astronaut one day, cut to flashback. Caleb in a hospital bed, holding a paper rocket. His laugh echoing faintly over the sound of machines. Mom, if I ever get to space, I'll wave at you every night. The screen fades back to Destiny's face, drained, blank, but breathing. Her phone buzzes. She hesitates, opens the last voice message from Ethan, her late husband. His voice fills the car, calm, careful, confident. If anything ever happens to me or Caleb, the trust will make sure you're taken care of. Promise me you'll only use it when you really need to, okay? She listens twice, then again. Each time his voice sounds further away, more like a ghost, receding into statics. Later that night, Destiny sits on the edge of her bed, scrolling through her phone. Her eyes are red, unfocused. She opens Instagram, more out of habit than interest. Then it hits. A photo slides onto the screen. Victoria, her sister-in-law, wearing a sequined gown, champagne in hand, smiling beneath a gold banner that reads, "She said yes." A glittering engagement ring catches the camera flash. The caption reads, "Forever starts now, couldn't have picked a better night." Destiny blinks. The date on the post, same day as Caleb's funeral. Her thumb trembles. Another photo loads. The whole family gathered around Victoria, laughing. The same people who told her they couldn't make it. The air in the room thickens. Her phone slips slightly in her grip. She sets it down on the dresser and stares at her reflection in the dark window. A woman she barely recognizes. "They skipped my son's funeral. For this." Her breath catcher, a message pops up on the screen. "We need to talk. Bring the trust documents tomorrow." Victoria Destiny's eyes narrow. Slowly, the grief in her expression begins to shift. Her breathing steadies. Her jaw clenches. The weight of her loss transforms, reshapes itself into something sharper. The silence in the room grows heavy, alive with unspoken rage. She whispers, almost to herself, "They didn't come to his funeral, but they want his money." The camera closes in on Destiny's face, the first tear she's shed in hours rolling down her cheek, not from sorrow, but from something colder. A low hum builds, refrigerator noise, rain outside, faint thunder in the distance. Her reflection hardens as she stares into the glass. Fine. They want what's his? Then they'll get exactly what they deserve. Muted laughter spills faintly through a polished oak door, brittle, rehearsed, and hollow. Destiny stands outside her parents' mansion, the night air pressing cold against her face. The porch light flickers, illuminating the faint tremor in her hand as she reaches for the handle. She pauses, breathes once, then pushes it open. Inside, everything gleams. Marble floors, gold-framed art, and the familiar scent of expensive candles. Yet the house feels colder than ever. The dining room has been transformed, not a place for meals or memories, but a boardroom. Papers spread across a long glass table. Crystal glasses filled, untouched. Her family, her blood, sits at the far end, like executives awaiting a business deal. Behind them, a framed photo, all of them smiling. Caleb in the center, his grin bright and real. The rest? Masks. Perfectly painted masks. Destiny's eyes fix on the picture. Her throat tightens. "You're late." "Sit down. I wasn't aware this was a meeting, Father. We're here to finalize what's left of Caleb's estate, and your future." He slides a set of papers toward her. Legal documents. Her name printed neatly on every page. "You'll sign. We'll handle the funds responsibly. You're too emotional to manage finances right now." "It's understandable." "Emotional?" Victoria smiles thinly, folding her manicured hands. "You've always let your feelings cloud your judgment." "This isn't about punishment, dear. It's about practicality." Destiny's gaze shifts to her mother, whose expression is a carefully arranged portrait of calm. "Remember how impulsive you've always been, sweetheart? We just want to make sure nothing unfortunate happens with Caleb's inheritance." The words hit like gravel in her chest. Caleb's inheritance. Not Caleb's memory. Not Caleb's life. Just the money. Destiny looks toward Melissa, her younger sister. The one who promised to stand by her no matter what. But Melissa doesn't meet her eyes. Her silence screams louder than any betrayal. Destiny's hand hovers over the papers. The pen waits beside them, sleek, silver, cold. She looks down and notices a folder partially tucked beneath the stack. A corner of a document peeks out. Architectural sketches. She pulls it free. "What's this?" Her father stiffens. She unfolds the plans. The lines sharp, the details specific. A new extension, a wing. Caleb's room replaced by something labeled Executive Lounge. Her heart pounds in her ears. She flips through the pages, each one confirming it. They've already started planning renovations, even before the funeral. You've been planning this since Caleb got sick. Flashbacks flicker, her parents brushing off medical bills, claiming, there's no need to rush things. Their fake reassurances, their absence from the hospital room, their insistence on focusing on stability. The puzzle pieces slam together. Every comforting lie, every dismissive tone. They weren't grieving. They were preparing. He was your grandson. You sat there and watched him fade, and now you're erasing him from this house. You're hysterical. No, I'm awake. Her voice shakes, but her stare is steady. If you refuse to sign, we'll petition for guardianship. You've been unstable since the funeral. The courts will understand. A chill spreads through her, but she doesn't flinch. She slowly places the papers back on the table, flattening them with deliberate care. Then she looks each of them in the eye, her father, her mother, her sister, and says, her tone quiet, controlled, I won't let you bury my son twice. As she turns to leave, the lights overhead buzz, one flickering out. Her father calls after her, but she doesn't turn back. The camera lingers on the family photo, that same photo, now catching a reflection of Destiny's shadow as she walks away. The mansion's silhouette looms in the distance, but we're not inside it anymore. The camera pans to a modest apartment, bare walls, a single flickering lamp, boxes half opened. Destiny sits at the small kitchen table, laptop open. Her face is calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that follows the breaking of something deep. She scrolls through bank statements, her father's company accounts, her mother's trust funds, Melissa's online purchases. Every number tells a story of greed dressed in family duty. A framed photo of Caleb sits beside the computer. His smile, her anchor, her reason. They took everything sacred and priced it. Every tear had a number. Every silence had a cost. But money leaves trails, and Destiny was done being led. She opens another tab. Board of Trustees, appointment records. She's searching, cross-referencing names, tracing signatures, digging through the rot beneath the family's empire. The company that was too busy to attend her son's funeral now becomes her battlefield. Destiny visiting an old colleague of her father's, Mr. Adler, a retired accountant. Quiet. Alone. He opens the door, surprised to see her. Destiny. You once handled the Jameson accounts, didn't you? A long time ago, before your father made adjustments. She slides a folder across the table, documents she's copied, highlighted, annotated. Then you'll remember what the numbers used to look like. Adler scans the pages. His brow furrows. These transfers are illegal. And traceable. I need your help to make sure the right people see this. Quietly, Adler hesitates, then nods. The first ally is secured. Destiny walking through a warehouse, collecting storage boxes marked evidence. A gloved hand placing hidden cameras in her parents' home office. Her sister Melissa receiving mysterious texts. Do you know what they did to Caleb? A courtroom document being stamped. Filed. A voice message left unanswered. Her father's number glowing on her phone screen. She didn't shout. She didn't beg. She learned the rhythm of their power. And then, she started rewriting the music. Her father stands at the head of the table, giving a presentation on quarterly earnings. Calm, confident. Then, the screen behind him flickers. Images appear, emails, transfer records, dates that line up too perfectly. Victoria's face drains of color. Melissa's eyes widen. The room falls into a hush thick enough to choke. Her father turns sharply toward the door. And there she stands. Destiny. No words. Just that same calm face, eyes steady on him. What did you do? What you taught me. Business. She turns and walks out, heels echoing down the marble corridor as chaos erupts behind her. Voices shouting, phones ringing, security scrambling. The air in Richard Donovan's office carries a stillness that commands respect. A faint ticking clock is the only sound, steady and unwavering. the rhythm of truth about to surface. Destiny sits across from him, her posture upright, but her fingers betraying her nerves as they clutch a worn leather folder. Her reflection in the polished glass table looks like someone she barely recognizes, calm on the surface, but built entirely out of tension and purpose. Richard, late 50s, silver-haired and deliberate, studies her with quiet concern. His demeanor contrasts the chaos that had swallowed her life since the funeral. "Take your time, Destiny." She nods, though her voice wavers slightly. "It's all in here. Everything Ethan left me." She pushes the folder forward. Her hands tremble. Richard opens it with care. The faint rustle of paper fills the room. Among the legal forms and handwritten notes lies a single document stamped in blue ink. Statement of intent, Ethan Cole. His eyes move over Ethan's precise handwriting. The ink faded slightly at the edges. He reads silently at first, then aloud, his voice low. "If the worst happens, this trust shall provide for Destiny, who sacrificed everything for Caleb's care. No other party is entitled to claim a cent of these funds." Destiny closes her eyes as Ethan's words echo in her mind, his voice layered softly over Richard's. It's almost as if Ethan is there, guiding her through the wreckage they left behind. "You gave up your dreams for him, Des. This trust is my promise to make sure no one takes from you what you gave to our son." Richard looks up slowly. His usual calm is replaced by something more focused, an alertness born of understanding. He opens a new file on his screen, cross-referencing Ethan's trust with public records. Then he freezes, clicks through, pauses again. "Destiny," he says carefully, "you need to see this. Call logs, business filings, and bank transactions. Dates stretching back months before Caleb's death. Her parents' names, Victoria's name, all tied together by small hidden companies. Same signatures, same routing numbers." Destiny leans forward, her voice tight, barely above a whisper. "Why would they?" Richard adjusts his glasses, choosing his words with precision. "They were planning something. A challenge to the trust, perhaps a claim. Ethan must have sensed it. That's why he fortified every clause." He taps the document on the desk. The trust is ironclad. "They can't touch it. Not a cent. Ethan made sure of that." Destiny exhales slowly, her trembling easing into stillness. Her eyes sharpen. "Then all I need is proof of their greed." The shift is small but seismic. For weeks she had been the victim, the outcast, blamed, cornered, powerless. Now the tide begins to turn. Richard leans forward, voice steady, almost paternal. "Listen carefully. Don't confront them with this. Not yet. People like them, they reveal the truth when they believe they've already won." He slides a notepad toward her. "Meet them. Somewhere public. Make them feel safe. Let them speak freely. Record every word." Destiny studies him, her mind already stitching together the plan. "What if they refuse to meet?" Richard allows a faint smile. "They will." Greed always answers the call of opportunity. Destiny steps into the fading light. The city noise greets her like a heartbeat returning after a long pause. Her grip tightens on the folder in her hand, not as a relic of loss, but as a weapon forged in truth. She walks toward the curb, her reflection gliding across the glass doors behind her. Her phone buzzes. She unlocks it. One contact stands out. Mother. A pause. Then her voice calm and steady. "We need to talk. All of us." The hum of traffic fades beneath a low, rising tension. A single line appears on screen. "Some debts can't be paid in money." Camera pans to Destiny sitting by the window. The sunlight flickers through half-open blinds, slicing across her face in sharp lines. In front of her, a single brown envelope, untouched, heavy with intent. The camera lingers on it like a loaded weapon. She's calm, collected, the kind of stillness that only comes after you've stopped expecting apologies. Door chime. The family walks in, Victoria leading, her designer bag tucked under her arm. Her father follows, posture rigid, her mother in tow, holding on to a brittle smile. They look composed, expectant, as if walking into a business meeting, not a reckoning. They approach the table. Sit. They do. A long pause, the kind that makes the air feel tighter. Why didn't you come to Caleb's funeral? No one answers. Victoria looks away, pretending to adjust her bracelet. Her mother exhales sharply, that same theatrical sigh she used to silence arguments. Destiny. Because you were busy? Her hand slides the phone across the table. Screen on, brightness up. Instagram posts, champagne glasses. Hashtags, # new beginnings, # blessed, # family goals. A timestamp, the same day Caleb was buried. Public chatter around the cafe dims, replaced by murmurs. Eyes start to turn. Victoria's confident smile falters. Her father's jaw tightens. While I buried my son, you were celebrating. Her voice doesn't rise, but every word lands like a strike. Victoria finally leans forward, trying to regain control. Victoria, you have no right to. I have every right. She opens the envelope, slow, deliberate, pulls out a set of crisp papers, Ethan's original trust document. The camera zooms in. Highlighted clauses, signatures, Richard Donovan's name, Destiny. I spoke with Richard Donovan. This money isn't yours. It never was. Her father's composure shatters. He grabs the paper, scanning it, eyes wide, lips parting as if searching for a lie to stand on. Father, this can't be right. It's perfectly right. And legally binding, Victoria's voice trembles. You think this makes you better than us? Destiny, no. It just makes me free from you. Her mother reaches across the table, that familiar guilt-laced tone, soft and manipulative. Mother, Destiny, we're still family. You can't just. Destiny, you lost the right to call yourself family the moment you skipped his funeral. The jazz resumes, soft, almost mocking. Destiny stands, leaves the envelope open on the table. Proof, justice, closure, and walks away. The camera stays behind her. We watch the family frozen in place, their world quietly collapsing beneath the weight of the truth. Through the cafe window, we see Destiny step into the sunlight. She exhales, slow, steady, like a storm finally spent. Some debts aren't paid in money. They're paid in silence, when the ones who once laughed at your pain are left with nothing but their reflection. The street outside the coffee shop hums softly with life. Traffic in the distance, a bell jingling as the door opens. Destiny steps out, her coat buttoned, her steps slow but steady. The sunlight cuts through a layer of cloud, catching the edge of her face, calm, composed, unshaken. The storm she carried has passed, but its echo lingers. They thought my grief made me weak. But grief doesn't make you weak, it makes you dangerous, because there's nothing left to lose. Her fingers brush against the pendant hanging from her neck, Caleb's favorite toy soldier sealed inside the glass locket. Cut to montage. Quiet, deliberate beats, each one a reckoning. A luxury event hall, once glowing with anticipation, now sits empty. The engagement party banner flutters on the floor. Champagne glasses remain untouched. A phone buzzes on the counter. Dozens of missed calls, all ignored. Victoria's face flashes in a news article headline. CEO's daughter linked to internal embezzlement. Sources confirm investigation. Her smile from past interviews fades into the background, replaced by silence. Victoria's father, seated in his high-rise office, stares blankly at stacks of paperwork. Auditors crowd the room, files open, voices low. The once boastful patriarch who dismissed Destiny's pain now watches his empire crumble under scrutiny. His hands tremble over a letter from the board. Immediate suspension, pending review. The same man who refused to show up at Caleb's funeral now hides behind drawn blinds. Soft rain has left the ground damp. The marble headstone gleams faintly in the light. Destiny kneels beside Caleb's grave, Angela standing quietly beside her with an umbrella. Fresh flowers, white lilies, rest against the stone. Between them, a small, well-worn action figure sits upright, its paint chipped but proudly intact. Destiny traces Caleb's name with her fingertips, her voice barely above a whisper, steady and final. Destiny. I kept my promise, Caleb. No one will ever take what was yours. Angela places her hand gently on Destiny's shoulder. No words are exchanged. None are needed. Destiny walks away from the grave. The camera follows from behind, her figure framed by sunlight breaking through the clouds. The world moving again, her burden finally lifted. Thanks for watching Revenge Tales HQ. Every story holds a lesson, and every ending, a new beginning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.